Welcome to my algebra class. We are working on section 2.5 for chapter 2 and 2.6. 2.5 deals with the distributive property, one of the most important properties in algebra, which I call the candy property. The form of the distributive property, the formal way of writing it, is A times the quantity B minus C. So we pass A out to B and C, and we get AB minus AC. It also works over addition. A times the quantity B plus C, A times B plus A times C. So each of the things inside parentheses gets the candy outside. You can also have it after the parentheses. So if I had B plus C times A, it would be BA plus BC. Or the quantity B minus C times A would be BA minus CA. So if we try the following, which are on your vocabulary sheets, we're applying the distributive property to a problem so that we could do it mentally. Instead of taking 5 times 83, we can take 83 and break it up into two parts, 80 plus 3. And then take 5 times 80, which is 400. And 5 times 3, which is 15, and we get our answer 415. You can do the same with the decimal, but this time I'd want to subtract. I don't want to use 9 and 0.5. But if I use 10 minus 0.5, that would be easy to multiply because 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 0.5, or 1/2, is 3. So 60 minus 3 is 57. We can do it with mixed numbers. We can break this apart into 8 times the quantity 2 plus 1/4. And then 8 times 2 is 16, and 1/4 of 8 is 2. So our answer is 18. Then applying it to a binomial or two-term multiplication, we take 5 times everything, pass the candy out, so we get 5x plus 10. And here it is written with it after the parentheses, but it's still using the candy. So 4 times 6y is 24y, and 4 times 7 is 28. We use the opposite direction for the distributive property to simplify. So in this problem here, I can see the candy is 17, so I'm going to take it out, and in parentheses I'm going to use what it was used with, the 75, and there's a plus sign. And when I do that, the problem becomes very simple. 75 plus 25 is 100, and 17 times 100 is 1,700. Here, I'm applying the distributive property. I'm actually taking out the x and adding the 9 and the 5 together. When we do these problems on your assignment, I would expect you to realize they are like terms and we just add the numbers in front, but it is an application of the distributive property. Here we have 8y, take away 6y, so that would be 2y. Subtract the 8 and the 6. Here, applying the distributive property, I would take the 3 plus the 7, and then take away 4. So that'd be 10 minus 4, or 6n. On this one, first apply the distributive property, so you get 8n minus 8, and then you're going to add the 3n. So these are like terms. 8 plus 3 makes 11n, and then minus 8. The second part of your vocabulary for this lesson is multiplying real numbers. And we're going to go through a couple of the properties for multiplication and then the rules. The identity property of multiplication says that any number times 1 equals that number. So if you take 1 times any number, like -4, it'll give you that number back. Multiplication property of 0 says any number times 0 is always 0. Multiplication property of -1, if I take -1 times any number, I get its opposite. So -1 times any number is the opposite of that number. Property of opposites, if I have the opposite of a number, times another number, I get the opposite of their product, so it'd be negative 16. And if I have the opposite of a number times the opposite of another number, multiply them together, I get the number itself. Multiplication rules. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. So if I have negative 3 times negative 3, it's going to be positive 9. If the signs are different, negative 4 times times 5, I'll get a negative 20. If you have more than two numbers when you're multiplying, count the number of negative signs. If there's an even number of negative signs, the answer is positive. And if there's an odd number of negative signs, the answer is negative. And the reason for that is because every two negatives make a positive. So in this case here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. These two become positive, these two become positive. But the one that's left forces the whole answer to become negative. When you have your vocab check over this section, it'll cover adding and subtracting mixed numbers, which you, those that had any trouble with that, you've done a worksheet on it, so be sure and take a look at that when you get it back after it's graded, which you will before we actually have the vocab check. You need to get your paper for your assignment, which is on page 67. Check your heading, math room number, full name, full date, skip a line. The title is page 67, written. Exercises 1 through 69 odds. So we're not doing any evens on this assignment. I'm going to do every other odd on the video, and then you're going to do the rest of the odds on the right side of the paper. So I'll do 1, you do 3. On page 67, number 1 says 8 times quantity 30 plus 1. So use your distributive property, that's 240. 8 times 30 plus 8, and that equals 248. You are to apply the distributive property. Skip a line, problem number 5. We have 4 times the quantity 50 minus 3. Using the distributive property, that's 200. 4 times 50 minus 4 times 3, which would be negative 12. And 200 minus 12 is 188. So you're going to do 7. Number 9, we have 4 times the quantity 9.5. We're going to break that up. Use the distributive property into 10 minus 0.5. So we have an easier multiplication problem. So 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 0.5, or 4 times 1/2, is 2. 40 minus 2 is 38. You're going to do problem number 11. Skip a line, we're on number 13. And copy the problem down. It's 30 times 18 plus 70 times 18. Use the distributive property and pull out the candy, which is 18. And in parentheses, write down what it was used with, 30. Go from left to right, 30 plus 70. So this was the candy, that comes out. Now we have an easy problem to work. 30 plus 70 is 100. 100 times 18 is 1,800. And that's the way you are to do your odds. Number 17, we have 0.75 times 32 plus 0.25 times 32. Well, the candy, what's been used twice or distributed, is the 32, so we take it out. From left to right, it was first used with 0.75 and then plus 0.25. These two add up to 1, so we have 32 times 1, which is 32. Skip a line number 21. We have 13y minus 4y. Use your distributive property, take out the y. 13 minus 4 is 9y. Or add like terms, or subtract like terms. 13y minus 4y is 9y. 25. These you are to write an equivalent expression without the parentheses. So 25, we have 3 times the quantity x plus 2. Applying the distributive property, everything inside is multiplied by the 3. So we have 3x plus 6. 29, 6 times the quantity 3n plus 2. Apply the distributive property, everything inside multiplied by the 6. That gives us 18n plus 12. 33. You have parentheses 3n plus 7, and the candy is on the right side, but still pass it out from left to right. 2 times 3n is 6n, plus 2 times 7 is 14. Skip a line, number 37. You are to simplify these, collect any like terms. So we have 3a and 5a. You can add the 3 and the 5 together, it gives us 8a, and bring down the plus 7. 7 doesn't have a variable after it, so there is no way you can add it to 8a. By order of operations, 8 times a has to be done first, so you cannot add the 7. 41, we have 8y minus 7y plus 4. 8y minus 7y would be 1y, and we don't write the 1 in front very often, so it's just y plus 4. 45, copy the problem down after you skip a line. 3s plus 5t minus t minus 2s. Collect like terms. 3s and a negative 2s. Remember, the sign of the number is right in front, so don't lose that. 3s minus 2s is just 1s or s. And 5t minus a t, that's minus 1t, would give us 4t. Skip a line, 49. We have 4 times the quantity x plus 3 plus 3. So we have to get rid of the parentheses to simplify, so apply the distributive property. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12, so plus 12. Bring down the plus 3. There's only one term with the x, so that stays by itself. We can add the numbers. 12 and 3 make 15, so our answer is 4x plus 15. 53, we have 7 plus 2 times the quantity 5 minus x. Simplify by removing the parentheses, multiply out by the 2, so 2 times 5 is 10. We have a minus sign. 2 times x is 2x. Collecting the 7 and the 10, we get 17 minus 2x. 57, 5 times the quantity y plus 3 plus 7y. Remove the parentheses by applying the distributive property. We get 5y plus 15 plus 7y. Collecting like terms, 5y plus 7y is 12y, and bring down the plus 15. 61, we have 9 times the quantity a plus b. Let me check to see how far we go. 69, okay. 9 times the quantity a plus b plus 4 times the quantity 3a plus 2b. Use the distributive property. 9 times a is 9a, and 9 times b is 9b. Again, distributive property, 4 times 3a is positive 4 12a, and positive 4 times positive 2a is positive 8b. Excuse me, it's a b. Collecting like terms, positive 9a and a positive 12a make 21a. A positive 9b and a positive 8b makes 17b. Positive. It's always important that you know that the sign of what the number is right in front of it. 65, 7 times the quantity C plus 2D plus 8 plus 3 times the quantity 9C minus 2. Apply the distributive property. 7 times C is 7C. 7 times a positive 2D is positive 14D. 7 times a positive 8 is positive 56. Positive 3 times 9C is plus 27C. Positive 3 times a negative 2 is negative 6. Collecting like terms, a positive 7C and a positive 27 make 34C. Positive 14D is by itself, so just plus 14D. And then the numbers positive 56 and a negative 6 make 50. And there's our answer. And the last problem, number is 69. Translate and simplify. 8 more than the sum of negative 5 and 15y increase by 1/2 of the difference between 12y and 8. So we have 8 plus, we can actually drop the parentheses since there's nothing in front, negative 5 plus 15y. Then we take 1/2 of everything in the parentheses. Positive 1/2 of 12y is positive 6y. Positive 1/2 of negative 8 is negative 4. Then collecting like terms, 8 take away 5 is negative 3 with the minus 4. So that would give us negative 7, and the positive 15y and the positive 6y make 21, positive 21y. So our answer is negative whoops, I think I made a mistake. That should be positive 3. There we go. Positive 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So negative 1 plus 21y. And that concludes the odds that we did in the video. You have the other odds to do. As you do each problem, check your answers, and if you have any questions, ask for help, please.